If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why so?
I just feel like he just aligns with where maybe I believe that the country's the strongest. I definitely think that there are issues with both candidates at the time. Um, but I definitely think that Donald Trump was just kind of more gauged to where I morally was.
How so?
I just feel like it was very much. I think it continues to be more down the middle of the street. Um, I don't see him actively, just catering to one subset of people. Where I think
Pardoning
there
the
was
January 6 rioters and calling them patriots?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to agree on that. I'll be honest, we're
Is
not
that
going to
not
agree
him
on that.
catering to a small group of people, or like him going to big fossil fuel companies and saying, if you give me $1 billion for my campaign, I'll give you $110 billion in tax cuts? I mean, that's clearly specifically him catering to a small percentage of people. Plus, also him cutting taxes specifically for millionaires and billionaires and increasing taxes on people whose income is under $400,000 a year to a greater extent than what would exist under Kamala Harris because of the imposition of greater percentage tariffs, which disproportionately raise taxes on low and middle income individuals because they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think that we can't live in a land of like it would have been worse than Kamala Harris. For one, we don't know that. For two, we've seen how fiscally irresponsible the previous administration was, and we've seen the kind of money that Kamala Harris ripped through just from campaigning. I mean, the financial aspects is not relatable on either side.
Trump spent significantly more money, if you want to look at, especially throughout the context of the different admins. She was catching up. Secondly, if you want to talk about fiscal irresponsibility, Donald Trump signed off on $4 trillion more debt-related
Well,
spending
I mean
comparative to. Wait, can I
that's
please finish?
apples and
Can I please
oranges
finish? Donald.
because she didn't. Well, no, well you can't because let me address one thing at a time. I know what you like to do, man, and I get it. It's very strategic tactic, but you can't say four different things. The first one being the most outrageous, and then closing them in tighter and tighter. To
I'm
say
sorry.
that
Literally just
Donald Trump
responding to
spent
what you
more,
said.
it's
Yeah,
because
But
you said
he
multiple
was
things, and
literally
I'm
responding to what you
responding to the
said.
multiple things. I let you say multiple things, but apparently it's an issue whenever I say multiple things.
well, what did I say that wasn't true?
Fiscal
Everything.
irresponsibility being to a greater extent under Donald Trump compared to Kamala Harris. I was disputing that, and I was showing you that Donald
I
Trump
said both
specifically.
sides.
Donald Trump signed off on $4 trillion more debt-related spending, meaning he's less fiscally responsible.
Than Kamala Harris would have been. That's what I said. We didn't get to see what Kamala Harris would have done. So just saying that it's worse than what it would have been, that's not true. We can't say that.
Yes, we can.
That's what I said.
One,
Well,
we can look
you
at the
can
first
say it, but it's not
one, we can look at the
factual.
first admin. Secondly, we can look at the campaign promises that they made, and we can make estimations based upon that, which is what the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget did, indicating that not only was $4 trillion more signed into law for the first admin, but this next administration would be $4 trillion more as well.
Yeah, if you're looking for somebody that's just gonna just blindly like agree and be that patriot, be that like I'm not that. I'm not. But I do believe that so much of my issue with the Democratic Party comes from just the catering to such a large minority of groups. Like I get where a lot of it, like I'm very much I'm very much pro-choice. I'm very much for like certain social aid to a certain extent. I think that well, I know that it's largely abused. I'm definitely way more down the middle of the road than most Trump supporters. However, I do believe that he just is going to be better for us as a whole. I think the representation of even the voting was probably right where most of the country is. Aside from that, I do believe that the Republican Party is a lot quieter.
Can before you go too far, can I address something really quick?
Yeah, of course.
So you said that you don't like the fact that the Democratic Party focus on the needs of the minority, right? Like the different marginalized groups versus okay. Do you understand why it's better to target making life better for the most marginalized of us versus, you know, the ones that are least marginalized?
I don't. I understand that. Yes, that's your question.
So, in terms of fiscal irresponsibility, I kind of want to bring us back to that point, right? You said that that was one of the driving factors for why you specifically don't support Democrats, was that they were less fiscally responsible, correct?
I said no. I said during campaigning. That's what I had said.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the campaign plans.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
the Committee for
but
Responsible Federal Budget
and
analyzed Harris's
but
campaign plans to Trump's campaign plans. And they didn't even take Trump for everything that he said. There were some claims that he made on the campaign trail, like get rid of income tax entirely. Okay? That was clearly not going to happen. And that would be an extremely expensive proposal, right?
100%.
So like we didn't take everything for 100%. We even did less than what we would have expected there.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And like I said, and that's why I preface. I'm not. I don't think Trump is a saint. Like I'm not that guy. I find those people 100% like I question them. I can respect the fact that they are patriots. I think that there's something to be said about that. I think that that word being such like a mix, like that's being used as derogatory. Like as somebody who does love America, the fact that the term patriot or the label of a patriot meaning such a negative thing in certain circles, that's heartbreaking to me. Like I'm from a small town in Arizona and I'm a blue collar guy and I'm sorry. It's just I see both sides of the coin. I have family in California that just thinks that anybody in a pair of steel toes boots is just a 100% bigot, and and it's just so crazy. Like I work with such a diverse group of
specifically
guys.
what you do. It's what you do that we would critique. It's not specifically we think that people
But
with
but
certain types of boots like are gonna be racist or something. Like
but
what?
that's not
If
true,
you
man.
like again, you're
Like
supporting.
being a Republican,
Go ahead.
being a white Republican, there are people who judge me without knowing me or my positions.
Well, I mean,
Flying
you
an
are
American flag in my front
respectfully,
yard. A lot of
respectfully, you are
people.
voting. You do support Trump. Like you're supporting a racist over someone who's not racist.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
man.
but it's crazy.
I get it. I get it. I get where you're saying that. But if our only goal was to put somebody in office that's not racist, I agree with you 100%. That would be great. But there are people who aren't racist that are
Such as
could be
like
far
Kamala
worse.
Harris. How would Kamala Harris be worse given that she's not racist and Donald Trump is racist?
Well, for one, I'm not convinced that Kamala Harris isn't racist to a certain extent.
Okay, explain to me how Kamala Harris is racist.
Well, first, before you do that, can you tell me what race is?
In my opinion, race is
No,
just
not
anybody,
your opinion, but what it actually is.
people of different color and creed, I guess.
No.
Oh,
Race
okay.
is a race is a social construct that was created in order to justify racism. Racism is a system of oppression that was used, created by Gomez de Zerara to justify chattel slavery. It was actually used in justification of the Catholic Church to verify that Black people were subhuman, and it was justified to actually enslave them and use them as property and capital. And it's continued to perpetuate through different social systems, including education, medical, different things along those lines. So, like, yes, it's a social construct, but it's being upheld by racism, and racism and capitalism are intimately intertwined. The reason why there's a pushback on Black people being able to be racist is because of the patriarchal system, where Black people can never be at the top of said patriarchal system. So there's no way we could take advantage of what racism allows. Also, you have to come back into the app in order for us to hear anything you have to say.
Yeah, we won't hear anything as long as you're out of the app.
No, you're good. I was just letting you talk.
So, yeah,
I can.
yeah, she
that's
can't she can't capitalize on racism. She can be a bigot. She can be prejudiced. She can be xenophobic. All of those other things, but not racism. That's not how racism was set to work.
I applaud you on that, and I hear what you're saying, and I have no doubt that it's 100% accurate. I just don't. I think that most people that use the term race and racist would definitely, by a large majority, you know, they know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to argue that. Very well put together. Thanks for educating me on it. But it's definitely not to say that she couldn't be a bigot. I guess maybe that's what.
I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, you just have to substantiate it, but I can agree.
100%.
She has the ability to be a bigot, but like, what thing would you say that made her a bigot?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not saying that she is or would be. I'm saying she could be. I know that.
Okay. So we know
like
that
said,
Trump is,
Donald
and
Trump
you're saying
being
she could be
racist is yeah. Well, for one, you said who could be. I said her. With her, I think that outside of race, I just feel like
hold on. Let me clarify.
Go ahead.
So Trump, is a racist, and is a bigot, and your response to that is Kamala Harris could be a bigot. It's possible.
No. For one, I know that I'm not going to go back and forth with you on whether or not Trump is a racist or not.
Okay.
I've heard that. I've heard you say it. I've watched people get into it with you on it. I do know that he's done stuff like a lot of them have, as far as politicians have said stuff and done stuff it's not a hill I'm about to die on.
Okay.
And then when you defined racism, how would you define racism?
Wait. We can get to that here in a second, but I just want to acknowledge this first, right? You do acknowledge, right, that under your perspective, you're voting for someone who is racist over someone who is not racist. So do you at least understand why people have these preconceived notions about you, given that you're willing to support a racist over someone who's not racist?
Well, to me, voting for somebody who's racist and voting for somebody who's a bigot that's a tied race. Like, I don't want somebody who's a bigot, especially against somebody who looks like me, representing me.
But you just said that you think that she could be, but you can't give us any examples of her being a bigot. But we said Donald Trump is a racist, and we can give you specific examples of Donald Trump being a racist. So it sounds like you are putting up the fact that you know that Donald Trump is a racist versus something you made up in your head about Kamala Harris possibly being a bigot.
I've seen Kamala Harris support people who are bigots. I've seen her support people who hate people like me.
Okay, sure. Can you give us a specific example?
Yeah, I mean, like, look at the people who endorsed her, and she took their money.
Okay, give us a specific example.
Okay, well, P Diddy gave her money.
That's not true.
Rihanna, what? Yes, it is.
Wait, by the way,
Diddy
who is friends with Diddy? Didn't Donald Trump say that Diddy was a good guy and that he was going to stand up for Diddy?
Yeah,
exactly. Diddy was in jail while she was running for president.
he was. She was.
Diddy was in jail while she was running for president. That's not true.
I don't believe he was.
Yes, Diddy has been in jail for I want to say like maybe closer to 2 years than anything.
What?
Yes.
For real? That's wild.
Where did you get this claim from? Seriously, how'd you even get that claim? You just made that up, dude.
No, I'm not saying that I didn't. Well, for one, I didn't like make it up. I'm pretty sure that he did. I don't want to close out of the app and search
while in prison.
I don't think he was in prison. I didn't know that.
I apologize. So yeah, he was in prison.
No,
but it was like
wasn't,
right
bro.
after she.
He was
it was
not.
right,
When she was campaigning, he was not.
hold on, let me finish my sentence. He was in prison, but it was like he went right after she started campaigning. So, but he didn't have time to endorse her.
He did endorse her, dude.
He
did.
literally went to.
You guys are sitting there laughing at me, like, you know. He's just said he's been in jail for 2 years, bro. Stop.
I said, yeah, okay.
Right?
Technically,
Like,
he's been in jail.
like,
I
you guys
said
are laughing
maybe
at
close to
me,
2
like,
years. He's been in jail for over a year now. That's what I was saying. Like, yeah, but
He was
hold on, give me a
campaigning
second.
before he went to jail. Bro.
Wait. So you're saying
he
that
did endorse
Kamala Harris is a worse candidate because Diddy supported her?
No, I'm saying that people that were bigots supported her. That was
Really?
the
Because
question that
who
you
did
asked.
they support?
I don't know.
Wait, no, hold on. Respond to this. Who did they support? Since they're accountable for who supports them, who did they support in the 2024 election? Take a guess.
He didn't take any money from the.
Wait. You're saying that she
He
took
did not
money?
take.
Wait.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes,
How do you?
yeah.
Okay, so how did you even get the idea that Diddy gave her money?
He did donate to her campaign. It was
How
on
much?
Charlemagne. It was on the Breakfast Club.
How
What
much?
does it matter? How much does it
Oh no, here it is. It's because it's a lie. Reuters literally has an article fact checking all of this, and there was altered photos showing that Kamala Harris was with Diddy, and they also put out spread the rumor that Diddy donated $5 million to her campaign, which none of that is true. literally none of it's true. So no, he didn't endorse her. He didn't donate to her campaign. You've been propagandized. There's a full fact check article from Reuters on October the 18th, 2024 about it.
What about Beyonce and Jay-Z?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
what
confused. What your point is? What's your point with this?
I'm answering.
You wanted to
your
know who
question.
supported
You
Donald
said-
Trump? January 6th
you
violent
said-
rioters who beat police officers. That's who also supported
You-
Donald Trump.
Parker,
They gave
all
money.
I'm doing
They
is
gave money to
answering
his
your
campaign.
question.
What's up?
All I'm doing is answering your question. brother.
Also, you said the Triple K actually he disavowed the Triple K. He didn't. But question for you: who do you
I
think
said he-
the Triple K? Sure. Who do you think the Triple K voted for? Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
Okay. Enough said.
So then
Right,
would you
but-
hold
but-
Donald Trump accountable for that?
100%. Like, what do you mean hold him accountable? I already said he's a dirtbag for that.
Okay,
Well,
so then why do you
I-
support him?
Because as a whole, his visions, I believe, are more in line with mine. I don't have a racist or a bone in my body. I think it's disgusting.
Okay, so then why do you support?
100%.
So then why do you support a racist over someone who's not racist?
Also, you said his vision, and also you mentioned your morals. So you're saying that the visions and his visions and morals are racist, and they're sexist and classist and fascist. So all of those things align with you.
100% no.
Okay,
and I've already. I
So,
got
okay,
out
but
in
wait.
front of all
To
that.
clarify,
Called it disgusting.
you are closer to a racist than you are to someone who's not racist.
Well, for
You're
one-
ideologically closer
Wait.
to a racist.
Well, that can't be true, right?
Oh, okay.
Only-
So then you
when you're
don't
talking
support
about
Donald
two
Trump.
Different things, and only one of them can be it. That's a trick. I mean, I can't be closer. I mean, when only one of them can be racist.
Wait, so
You
okay,
can't-
explain to me.
you can't
Are you
say that.
wait to clarify? In an election, would you be ideologically closer to a racist or to someone who's not racist?
There can't be when only one of them can be racist. How is that a question that can be?
What does that
answered
have to do
correctly?
with you?
What?
Parker saying.
Right.
Parker
so
saying you. What
can't
do
answer
you
this
closely,
question.
What do you closer associate with? Someone that is racist or someone that is not racist?
someone that is not. If we're just talking about
There you go.
racism,
Wait, so if you're ideologically closer to someone who is not racist, then that would entail that you support Kamala Harris, right?
well, no, because Kamala Harris cannot be racist, so you can't use race.
Wait.
as a
How
construct.
about this? How about this? In what way are you ideologically more similar to Trump?
I think the fact that he looks at the nation as a whole rather than, an individual.
That's
The-
not true.
What?
He literally doesn't support.
What?
He literally doesn't support blue states. He literally is targeting blue states, and he also didn't want to send funds to blue states, and he had to be convinced because they had to tell him Republicans are there as well. I don't know what he's talking about, Parker.
Well,
Wait,
a lot of
also
but
wait,
you
wait,
gotta
hold up,
think
hold up.
He's got to
You
follow
said
through.
so.
with
Wait,
a lot
wait.
of stuff that
No,
he
he
promised
thinks
on.
that Donald Trump has more of a collectivist method of thought.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yes,
Dude, he thinks
100%.
Donald Trump's thought is more collectivist. What, for rich
Yeah, but
people?
you're laughing and trying.
Yeah,
to
it's
count
collectivism for
it.
rich people, and it's rugged individualism for everybody else.
Yeah, but you got to think, man. What's wrong? What if people prefer that? Like
We don't. Name what? Is there anyone in the comment section that agrees with that? With rugged individualism for everyone else, but for rich people, it's collectivism. That's called oligarchy, dude. That's literally That's oligarchy. You were like, do you know some people want oligarchy, right? Like, dude,
I wasn't
what?
talking about just that. I'm talking about his premises in general.
What do some people want? Tell me what.
I
Ideologically
believe
more
that
similar to oligarchy.
No, I believe that more people want common sense in politics to move forward and put America first in certain aspects and put the large majority of a society on more
I'm sorry.
of a pedestal.
You think Donald Trump has common sense? You think Donald Trump has common sense? I'm sorry. Let's start here first. He literally was just proponing the idea that not taking Tylenol during the context of pregnancy had no negative impacts, as if untreated fever isn't going to be negatively impactful to someone's health and the health of the pregnancy. Hello?
I don't
He said
think
that. He said that
was saying-
Tylenol
no, he
usage
didn't say
in
that. He just
come on.
He said, bro, you can't. It's context. He
Yeah,
said that
let's talk about
he
the
didn't
context.
say let it go unchecked completely. Say if is keep having a fever. He said don't use this type of medication.
What? So what? Use what else?
There's only one medication that can be used for a fever.
Tylenol is the leading prescribed, not necessarily prescribed, but the leading medication to take for pregnant women as far as fevers. Like literally, it's the gold standard. They've tested it.
Yeah, tell me. Wait. You tell me right now. Wait. What else? Wait, actually, tell me right now. What else should they take?
Well, for one, I know a lot of holistic doctors, or not even holistic doctors, say that you should just oxygen and IV. Like that's big right now.
Dude, I'm sorry. Oxygen and IV is not going to get rid of fever, dude. What are you talking about?
Dude, what are you talking about? You want to talk about?
Wait, so you want pregnant women to go to a witch doctor? Like, I'm so confused what's happening.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
I'm sorry. You want them to what do you want them to do?
100% O2 and a salient is a witch doctor?
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bro,
You're saying just to do that? Wait, you're saying to do that for a fever? Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, man. That's out of this world to you? I'm not gonna sit here and talk with two dudes who aren't doctors about medicine.
Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, do you want me to play
it's three dudes that aren't doctors. It's
three dudes.
It's
well,
not
that's
two.
why I
It's
said
three dudes is not
That's why I
doctors.
said I'm not going to.
Hold up. You want to hear let's hear what doctors have to say on the matter. Let's hear what doctors have to say. You want to hear what some doctors have to say real quick? Watch this.
During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Okay, so Trump, with the help of RFK Jr., has officially announced that Tylenol, which is a brand name for acetaminophen or paracetamol, greatly increases your baby's risk of autism. And this is the answer RFK Jr. promised by the end of September this year. And I have to say, this is complete garbage. Times School. Whilst it's true that some observational studies do report associations between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and certain neurodevelopmental outcomes like autism, you have to remember that pregnant women who take acetaminophen don't just take it for shits and giggles. They take it because they are unwell, for example, with a fever, pain, infection, chronic illness, or something else. The indication or reason for taking the can often be linked to autism, not the itself. So when you look at well-designed studies like the gold standard Swedish sibling study on almost 2.5 million children, at first they found that mothers who used acetaminophen versus those who didn't, their babies had a 5% increased risk of autism. But when researchers performed a sibling control analysis where the researchers compared brothers and sisters where one had acetaminophen during pregnancy and the other didn't, and thus controlling for genetics and maternal factors, they found no increased risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability. And this is why the UK confirms that acetaminophen or paracetamol is safe to use during pregnancy, and there is no evidence that it causes autism. Oh, and this is the same as Canada, Singapore, Australia, and basically the rest of the world. And now here's the most important part. Maternal fever or hypothermia in early pregnancy is absolutely linked to various birth defects. And acetaminophen is one of the few options to bring down a fever safely in pregnancy. Avoiding it based on misinformation like this can severely harm both the mother and the baby. So maybe don't take your health advice from RFK Jr. and Trump, who can't even pronounce the he's talking about correctly.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen. Is that okay?
Class dismissed.
He said, well. He also can't say origins. He says oranges.
Thank you for the galaxy. So, I mean, come on. That's just one example. I can also show you Trump saying the climate's going to start cooling and science just doesn't know it yet. And he was saying carbon emissions don't exist. Like,
Yeah, man, I'm not fighting back on that stuff. Like, that's so much of those are party positions that there's a mountain of anecdotal stuff on both sides that.
oh, let me keep going though. He also said that windmills are causing whales to numbers never seen before, right? I mean, like, dude, the point that I'm getting from this is that the idea that you have in your head that Donald Trump has common sense or brings about more common sense is the most radically insane take I have ever seen ever. So the fact that he said that without that second thought kind of is a little bit concerning to me.